If you've been waking up tired but life's fine, it can be hard to explain. From the outside, nothing's necessarily wrong. Your life might look stable. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're showing up. At the same time, you're just worn down in a way that doesn't make sense. Now, this isn't the kind of tired that follows a late night or a packed week. It doesn't always go away with sleep. Some mornings you wake up and it's already there, even if yesterday was fine. The day hasn't even started and your body already feels like it's preparing for something. It doesn't always show up loudly in your body. Your shoulders relax, just not fully. Your jaw stays slightly tight without you meaning it to. Now, your breathing is normal, but maybe a little bit shallow. Sitting on the couch doesn't automatically feel restful. And even in those quiet moments, you still feel like you're standing up, waiting for something to happen. During the day, you do things the way you always have. You answer messages, you have conversations, you make decisions. Nothing dramatic is happening during your day. And most people probably experience you as steady and competent, maybe even calm. Inside, though, you're trying to keep yourself steady and make sure everything stays on track. Small disruptions can bring this really immediate sense of tightness. Not a meltdown, just more of a quick shift into figuring it out and staying ready. And then after all that's over, your body doesn't fully settle back down, it just keeps moving. Rest can feel very unfamiliar. A day off doesn't always land the way that you expect. You sit down, but your mind keeps running through things. There's this sense of being slightly on call, even when no one is calling. And then late at night, you might scroll not because you're excited about what you're seeing, but because it's easier than sitting with the quiet. People who experience this are often the ones others rely on. They're responsible, they follow through, they don't create chaos. Keeping emotions internal feels normal to them. And friends might even describe them as mature or grounded. At work, they're the calm one. In family life, they're the steady one. Being the person who can handle it becomes second nature to them. That identity starts to feel ordinary. It doesn't feel like you're putting on an act. It just feels like who you are. And what needs to be done gets done. And most of it just happens automatically. Over time, though, there can be this sense of distance from yourself. Finishing something meaningful for you doesn't always bring the satisfaction that you hope for. And being around people you love can still make you feel alone. Conversations move along, you're still present, but there's also a part of you watching yourself as you go. Mornings sometimes bring this heaviness. Think about it, nothing catastrophic is happening. There's just this sense that stepping into the day is going to take more effort than you want to give. Even good things can carry that weight. Like a full calendar, a productive stretch, a gathering of people that you care about, all those things can feel like they require you to stay composed. There's usually no obvious story attached to it. Even if someone asks you what's wrong, you might not have a clear answer. You're not in crisis and you're not spiraling. You're functioning. And that's what makes this all super confusing. You might catch yourself changing in small ways and not even realizing you're doing it. You think about it, a word gets softened before it leaves your mouth. A reaction gets swallowed and then reshaped into something more acceptable. And you tell yourself it's maturity or wisdom or just keeping peace. And maybe sometimes it is. Still, there's this quiet cost to constantly adjusting like that. It becomes hard to tell where that adjustment ends and you begin. There's also a physical side to it that it's easy to miss. It's not pain exactly, just a sense that you're never completely off duty. Even lying down doesn't always feel like sinking into anything. It's more like hovering. Now, you're technically resting, but something in you hasn't gotten that message. And people who live this way rarely think of themselves as anxious. That word feels way too loud. You're like, life looks steady. Your emotions are contained. Nothing's unraveling. If anything, you're reliable. But underneath that steadiness, there's this like faint hum, like a generator running in the background that never quite powers down. And then there are those moments when you finally stop. And not because you plan to, just because the day ran out. Sometimes something unexpected surfaces. There's this flash of sadness, or like an irritation that feels like it shouldn't be a big deal. It passes and you go back to functioning, but it leaves you wondering, like, what exactly was that? And none of that automatically means something's wrong with you. You can be strong and still feel worn in places that you don't talk about. You can carry things well, and you probably do, and you can still feel the weight of carrying that. The steadiness can be real. The fatigue can be real too. There's something disorienting about feeling tired when everything looks fine. You might tell yourself, hey, I shouldn't feel this way. Comparing your life to someone else's also adds pressure. That inner conversation that you have can make the experience feel heavier than it is. Relaxing, fully relaxing, can feel very hard. Even doing something enjoyable, part of you stays slightly braced. Like, think about it when you watch a movie or go to dinner or go for a walk. Your body doesn't always sink all the way into that moment. It just always remains a little bit ready. Looking at your calendar might not reveal anything extreme either. You may not be doing more than everyone else around you. Still, that sense of carrying something doesn't lift. The day ends and you feel spent in a way that's difficult to measure. If this feels familiar, you're not strange for experiencing it. You're not dramatic or imagining it. A lot of steady, high-functioning people recognize this, even if they've never put language to it. There isn't a neat label that captures the whole experience. It's just this ongoing tiredness that lives alongside your competence. Responsibility doesn't cancel that out. Faithfulness doesn't erase it. Strength doesn't make it disappear. You can be doing really well and still feel this way. You can love your life and still feel this way. Being trusted by others doesn't remove it. None of those realities contradict what's happening inside you. So if you recognize yourself here, it doesn't mean something is broken. It just means that this is what it can feel like to be steady for a long time. And if all you have right now is that tiredness without a clean explanation, that's okay. You're not crazy for noticing it.